It's an iconic symbol of Canada and one that's been causing some concern in the city of Calgary. The beaver population has been creating some new problems in the past few years. Work is now underway at trying to control the population. They're a part of the Canadian identity or a seasonal scourge, depending on who you ask. A single beaver can eat 200 trees a year, and that can lead to a big loss to the city's canopy. They're also incredibly prolific baby beaver machines.
Their dams can also cause flooding, but they do a lot of good as well. So the dams, as I mentioned, can cause flooding, but they can also do water storage, and they can also filter and clean water as it goes through them.
The city's Tanya hopes the goal is to work with the creature and not against them.
We let them take out the maple trees, and they may come back and plant balsam. So removal of the maple opens up the canopy and allows the balsams to come up underneath.
Hope says lethal removal of the beavers is a last resort. They don't want to trap them and place them in another community, so it becomes their problem.
You really have to know where you're putting them to see if they're okay. We don't want to dump our beavers in someone else's property and cause them problems. So every removal is carefully considered because it does result in a lethal removal.
A good chunk of the population set up shop in Calgary after being washed down the Bow River in the 2013 flood. One of those trappers working around city limits is Bill Abercrombie.
Each situation is different. It depends on what the actual issue is. It might be damage to infrastructure and tunneling underground and coming up on the property. Could be a flooding issue.
Abercrombie says mitigation depends on what the client wants versus what is possible.
Sometimes in a tremendously overpopulated area, really the best thing for the beavers in that area is to do some population reduction simply because they're eating themselves out of house and home.
He says beavers have no natural predator. They're the smartest of the rodents. Those having a problem on their property should consult an expert. City officials say they only want to reduce the number of beavers as a last resort. They also don't have any numbers about the current population within city limits. In Calgary, Campbell, City News.